my dear gardeners. Look at this. What a lovely day today. The sky is blue and the hope of spring is here at the beginning of March. But I know in Connecticut March can be quite dreary still. But just a week ago we had a severe snow. Just look at this garden. And I remember that day when it was snowing so much, I was baking bread at home and looking outside thinking, oh my gosh, this spring is not going to come. You know that feeling at the end of February when February is taking hold, at least here in Connecticut, in Northeast US. But then comes March and sky is blue and I can walk outside in the sweater some of the days, and suddenly my dreams begin all over again. Do you hear the birds? They have the spring sound. And I'm cooking up my plan for all the annuals and new seeds which I'm introducing for 2024. So here I have two hypertufa pots, which I made myself last October, I believe. And I deliberately kept them outside the whole winter. I wanted to make sure that they are not cracking and nothing is happening with them. I wanted to make sure to test them, how strong they are. And they stood through the snow and frost and sleet. I did not elevate them from the deck, although it was not ground. You know, I have to give it to these pots. They were not sitting on the wet ground all the time, but they were sitting on the deck, and very often it was snowy there. They did not crack. So I have a plan. You know what's going to happen with this hypertufa? It's a little bit too white for my liking, so you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to put it in the shade for a week or two, and we'll start covering it with yogurt or something, or maybe not yogurt, you know. I probably will use the plant food, and hopefully all sorts of lichens and algae will come and start growing here, but we will see. So the plan for this hypertufa would be, in the front, in my vegetable garden, I have well-developed plants of thyme. It's not creeping thyme, it's a garden thyme, but still it has nice bushy habit. So imagine here, thyme around, right, with kind of cloudy little trimmed habit. And then in the middle, I'm going to do California poppies. And they are dainty little things. They are very bright orange. They have soft flowers, but that punch of orange color is very interesting. So thyme and poppies in the middle. And they have the same growing requirements. They don't like a lot of wet soil, a lot of moisture. So thyme and poppies, that's a plan for this year, for this hypertufa. We will see. But let's go inside and I will share with you my selection of annual and perennial seeds, which I chose for 2024. Okay, so 3 excitements for now for this year. I ordered quite a lot of seeds, maybe, well, it always happens. I order more seeds than I can bear, and I always try to do new seeds. So this year, the biggest excitement is lace flower. And, you know, many of you know that I grew up in Ukraine, and we had Queen Anne's lace everywhere. My childhood passed in the fields filled with very airy, light flowers of Queen Anne's lace. But here in Connecticut, it's invasive. It's definitely invasive in a lot of states. So I couldn't really introduce it in my garden. So I decided to go for lace flower, and it's lace blue. So those beautiful airy white umbrellas of blooms, they are actually blue. I never grew it in my garden. It's not as invasive. Well, it's not invasive as Queen Anne's lace. So I'm just curious how this is going to be. Will it have that beautiful substitute, that airy presence in the garden, which I experienced in my childhood? We will see. So that's the exciting collection of seeds number 1. The exciting development number 2 is lady's mantle. I see it everywhere, but I never grew it in my garden. And I do like that wonderful greenish color which lady's mantle have. I know it can be a bad neighbor for all other plants around it. And I know that ladies' mental does need the cold time of the year to go through at least 4 weeks of cold time. So I'm not sure if these seeds from Southern Seeds Company, if they were in cold storage. So what I'm going to do, it's the end of February, beginning of March. I'm going to put it for 4 weeks into a refrigerator. And at the end of March, I will have plenty of time to raise my own ladies' mental from the seeds. Let's see how that goes. I'm not sure about that. And the next development is outside at our back area where we have our dinners usually. So at the back of the house, I have this new rose, which would be superb this year. It's Katrina rose. So it's already for 2 years in my garden. And now this is going to be the 3rd year. And that Katrina rose has a tendency to be very wild and very strong. So the 3rd year, they say that rose leaps, right? First year, what? A rose sleeps. 2nd year, rose whatever. But 3rd year, it's a really big, strong push the rose is giving. So I am expecting beautiful dark pink blooms there on that wall. And because of that rose, I'm going to make a special tablecloth for that table. So look at this, what I'm cooking here. So the tablecloth will be in the color of I want to say that this is very British tablecloth. Folks in Great Britain might not agree, but this is how I am envisioning it. You see this pink color with flowers, and then on the side somewhere I will have these stripy, maybe little insertions, you know, something like this. And then I will do the backing with white fabric, so my pink cotton is not going to be so flimsy and so skinny looking on that table. It will have a nice white backing. You can even see, look, when you put white fabric against it, it even looks better. So that would be at the bottom. And then somewhere, a tiny little trims I will do with this a bright green color. I do love this color in the garden, that fresh spring color. So this will have, my tablecloth will have little trims of bright chartreuse color. And there is another end. We were traveling the other day and I went into the secondhand store and I bought all this bolt of trimming, beautiful white one, 160 yards for $20. And I looked at it and I said, this is what I need. I need a nice trimming for my tablecloth. And you know, we have a big table outside, so even to go to the store and buy this wonderful trimming by the yard would be expensive. So I can do 2 rounds of trim on my tablecloth. It will look good, it wouldn't cost me a lot of money. And I think that this tablecloth, together with that rose at the back, will be magnificent. So these are my latest developments. And since the garden is starting to look so inviting, we are having one of those warmer spells right now. I'm not sure where we are heading. Some parts of the country are going to have really warm weather. I'm hoping that we are not, but a little bit of sun will be great, you know. Let me tell you what other seeds I bought. So this was a free gift, tomato seeds from Baker Greek Seed Company. And then I went for bachelor's button seeds. I know they're wild, semi-wild flowers. I also grew up with them. And you know what we did with them? With these bachelor's buttons? If we had any issues with the eyes, like eyes were hurting us for whatever reason, my mom would put bachelor's button flowers into the tea and will put cotton swabs on our eyes, and that will calm down the pain for whatever. I don't even know why we had eye pain. So that brings me also into my childhood. I like it, and hopefully they will reseed these beautiful dainty flowers. I just hope that they will have enough of sun in my garden. Basil for my 2 vegetable beds in the front. And this one is verbena. I do have Verbena bonariensis in my garden. It's one of those tall verbenas, but it still has a tendency to flop and get too tall. So I was thinking that this Verbena vanity is going to be more tame in the garden. So let's see, I'm going to raise it from seeds, and let's see how this verbena will behave in my garden. You know, it's always interesting to look at seeds you didn't grow yet and then see how are they developing in the garden, and you decide to keep something and not to keep something. This is zinnia, white zinnia, profusion white, right? Profusion white. I do like white color at the back porch, and this zinnia will go there. Zinnias are very easy to raise from seeds, so plenty of zinnias at the back porch. Now, what do I have here? Oh, this is the empty one, yes. And I do have, I don't know, I never grew this salvia, Victoria White. It's a white salvia, and I do like white and blue color in the garden, mixed with a little bit of orange, dainty orange. I went for this cosmos, but they are Indonesian Canicura orange cosmos. So I want them to be popping around the garden a little bit here and there with this airy presence, together with blue lace flower. Let's see, maybe my garden is a little bit too small for all the plants I have for 2024, together with all the beautiful roses, but you know what, this is the time to have big plans for gardeners. Spring is coming, sky is blue, and I'm dreaming, you know. And meanwhile, I'm going to go to my sewing room and start sewing this tablecloth, because this is already washed. I pre-washed all the fabrics, I ironed them, so now they are just ready to go, and I will keep you updated. One day in summer, when my roses are blooming, we're going to have a tea party right there on this tablecloth. All right, my gardeners, I will see you around, and enjoy your gardens. Happy gardening.